TV Kinado Kiadeto.
Mwiroreri wa Mbuyu TV nituka orenge tukenda gukuhariria show njega, show ya mathauge, twako tukirunga ciĩgie wonjoria, aria mendete maundu ma biashara, aria mendete uhoro wa kuigirira, twakurehera ageni mehigeire maundu megie wonjoria, na guo tugako tukimenya maundu maingi megie wonjoria na uramati wa bia ona uigiriri. Nyitanira na ithuĩ guku kwa Mbuyu TV, nyitanira na nie PK kwehanda muthenya wa keri na niguo Tuesday kuma thenya nginya thaa thita, na guo cihanda muthenya wa kana niguo Thursday. Tukwehagera maundu maingi megie utarani, tugakona ageni guku gwitu studio megie maundu maingi no mohegeire maundu maingi megie utarani, tugacamania na andu macamanĩtie na maundu maingi muno thiini wa muturire, na niguo kahota kumenya maundu maria mangi makoo makihanĩka thiini wa muturire. Nyitanĩra na ithuĩ guku kwa Mbuyu TV Kinado Kiadeto.
Urerorera Mbuyu TV.
Tumete kuraya Ngai uturathimite. Tumete kuraya Ngai utuigĩrĩire tha. Ũtana makwaria ũrua irathimo ciakwa, amotũire wega kũrĩa Ngai andutĩte. Wĩ mwega we ũrathimagwo nĩ nyĩmbo ciakwa. Njĩtagwo Mwangiza Kayo, mũini wa nyĩmbo cia kũgoca Ngai. Na ndoka gukwira rũu nĩruo rwĩmbo rũrĩa rwakwa rwerũ mũno. Na ũngĩenda rwĩmbo rũu nĩgetha rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku, kana skiza tune ya thimũ yaku, ũgũthiĩ thĩinĩ wa thimũ yaku harĩa wandĩkagĩra message, ũthiĩ wandĩke kiugo skiza, wanjĩtie na capital S, wĩkĩre space, wandĩke namba ici 53 59 897 53 59 897, ũgatũma kũrĩ 811. Nĩ ũkwamũkĩra rugambi rũrũ rũtuĩke nĩruo rugambi rwa thimũ yaku, nake Ngai nĩ egũkũrathima na ndũkanariganĩrwo. Tumĩte kũraya nĩ Ngai ũtũrathimĩte. Tumĩte kũraya ona nĩ njũĩ umĩte kũraya. God bless you.
Miaka mĩingĩ ona gĩa kũrĩa nakĩo tũtikĩrĩ hatĩka-inĩ ya mĩnyamaro na mĩtangĩko, ndonaga kaĩ Ngai ariganĩirwo nĩ niĩ. Miriam nĩguo ngena nayo Jesu nowe mwathi Jesu.
Kigoco nĩ irio cia Ngai, nyitanagira na niĩ Shiro wa digital,
na niĩ makajita MC Nice, na niĩ DJ Carl Kigoco Spin Genius.
O muthenya wa kiumia ciehanda thaa thita cia mĩaraho tũgĩkũrehera tabarĩra ya
Rekei Tugoce
gũkũ kwa Mbuyu Massive Online TV
Kinado Kiadeto.
Mbuyu TV Kinado kia ndeto.
Alright, thank you muno na ndagĩkorwo ngĩkĩingĩra gũkũ studio ngĩgĩthekaga tondũ producer gũkĩnjĩraga ngĩkĩhoithie na no kĩwega gũkĩigaga Mũrungu mbere. Njokie ngatho mũno mwĩroreri wa Mbuyu TV nĩ tondũ wa gwĩtĩkĩra kũhingia karĩko karĩa twĩranaga tũgacamanagio mũthenya wa Saturday ngetha tũgakĩhota gũikia ndurumeni tũgatereta maũndũ makonainie na ũteti na mũthenya wa mũthĩ mwathani agĩtũtanaheire na mbura kurĩte wega tugacokia ngatho kuri nyene thutha wa tabarĩra ĩno nĩ gũgĩkorwo na tabarĩra ĩngĩ gũgũkĩra ĩrĩa ĩkoragwo ĩkĩreherwo nĩ Ciro wa Digital na mũthenya wa mũthĩ makĩrĩ na ndurumo nene mũno ya mũgithi hamwe na mũthenya wa rũciũ tabarĩra-inĩ ya reke itũgoce mũndũ gwĩtwo wa mũciĩ wa Kanyarĩ nĩ akorwo agĩkiũka o gũkũ mwena wa studio. Orĩngĩ gũcokeria ngatho mũno nĩ tondũ wa gũgĩtĩkĩra ũkĩnyitana na niĩ Jumamothi ya mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ nĩ kahinda karĩa ngũkorwo ngĩkũrehera maũndũ matiganĩte tukarĩrĩria ũrĩa bũrũri wa gĩtindo ũkĩhiana na maũndũ marĩa magĩkĩhanĩkĩte ũguo nĩ tũgĩetha mũtaaramu ũrĩa ũngĩkĩhota gũtũhe wandandũku kana kwandandũra ũhoro ũcio hamwe na maũndũ marĩa makĩthiĩte kana marehete thĩna tukageria gwetha solution ya maũndũ macio mothe gũkĩhanĩkĩte maũndũ maingĩ wiki kũhetũka mũthamaki wa bũrũri ũmũthĩ agĩtinda kũrĩa mwena wa Nyayo Stadium anyitanĩire na ateti magĩtiganĩte hamwe na governor wa gũkũ Nairobi Mike Mbuvi Sonko na Senator Sakaja nĩ makiuma mwena ũcio nĩgetha kũrugũria kĩharo kĩnene kĩa Nyayo Stadium. Oho tu nĩ tũrakĩonire maũndũ maingĩ magĩkĩhanĩka mwena wa Maragwa kũrĩa mwena wa kaunti ya Murang'a na tũragĩkorwo tũkĩona maũndũ makĩhanĩka maũndũ matagĩrĩire kũrĩa thĩinĩ wa mathiko marĩa marakĩrĩ ma family ya andũ atano makuĩte. No mũno mũthenya wa mũthĩ tũkorwo tũkĩarĩrĩria ndereti hiũ mũno na ĩrĩa ĩkoretwo ĩgĩthiũngũka thĩinĩ wa bũrũri wa Kenya. Nĩ ũkĩũĩ judiciary makoretwo makĩhana ta maraikaikanĩria maũndũ na legislature hamwe na kĩrĩa na committee ya judiciary na legislature hamwe na executive na hihi tukageria gũkĩrora nĩ ha Kenya ĩrorete rĩrĩa tũrakorwo tũkĩingĩra thĩinĩ wa siasa kana gũkorwo tũkĩarĩrĩria siasa kĩrĩ gĩtiribũ kĩa mwaka wa gatatũ. Thegi tũthiĩ o kabriki kanini tũkorwo tũkĩnyitanĩra na mũgeni witũ wa mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ na nĩ gũkorwo agĩtwarĩra tũkĩarĩrĩria maũndũ maya kwa wandandũku mũnene mũno.
Mwĩroreri wa Mbuyu TV nĩ tũka o rĩngĩ tũkĩenda gũkũharĩrĩria show njega, show ya mathaũgĩ twakorwo tũkĩrunga ciĩgiĩ wonjoria arĩa mendete maũndũ ma biacara arĩa mendete ũhoro wa kũigĩrĩra twakũrehera ageni mehũgĩire maũndũ megiĩ wonjoria naguo tũgakorwo tũkĩmenya maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ wonjoria na ũramati wa mbia ona ũigĩrĩri. Nyitanĩra na ithuĩ gũkũ kwa Mbuyu TV, nyitanĩra na niĩ PK kwehanda mũthenya wa kerĩ na nĩguo Tuesday kuma thaa 4 nginya thaa 6 naguo cihanda mũthenya wa kana nĩguo Thursday twĩkũrehagĩra maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ ũtarani tũgakorwo na ageni gũkũ gwitũ studio megiĩ maũndũ maingĩ no mohĩgĩire maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ ũtarani tũgacemania na andũ macemanĩtie na maũndũ maingĩ mũno thĩinĩ wa mũtũrĩre na nĩguo ũkahota kũmenya maũndũ marĩa mangĩ makorwo makĩhanĩka thĩinĩ wa mũtũrĩre. Nyitanĩra na ithuĩ gũkũ kwa Mbuyu TV kĩnandũ kĩa ndeto.
Urerorera Mbuyu TV.
Ngatho cia mwanya ũrĩngĩ nĩ twakĩrĩkia gũgĩcokereria na mũgeni witũ wa mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ Grand Mula kĩrĩ haha na ithuĩ nĩgetha tũkorwo tũkĩarĩrĩria maũndũ maya na wandandũku mũnene mũno na ndagĩkorwo ndakĩmenya oro rĩu ndagakorwo akĩigua rũthiomi rũrũ rwitũ no koguo nĩ ngũgeria ũkĩaranĩria nake ona rũthiomi rũrĩa onayo ũngĩkĩhota kũigua kana lugha ĩrĩa nyendandũku. Grand Mula, thank you very much for making your time to speak to us tonight. We had a political discussion and you heard the judiciary. They have introduced a fight with the executive. And so according to your opinion, what is the future of Kenya?
The future of Kenya, thank you, Bruce, for hosting me. I'm very glad. So, I think the Chief Justice did a wonderful job because that is what the law mandate and requires. So I think it is the work of the president maybe to look on to the matter and decide. And this is the right time. I think we can count on this as the biggest achievement for the Mr. President. We will not look at the maybe 8 years ago which he has been president, but we will look at the 20. This is like 20 days to come, because in 20 days time the president will be decided. It was an advisory.
So do you think, according to the statement released by the judiciary, do you think that the president will abide in it?
He must abide by it, because that is what the law requires. He must abide by it.
The president must abide in the rule of law because the constitution says that he shall abide with the judicial advisory.
Yeah.
But for a long period of time, or for the past few years when he was in power, we have seen a lot of the constitution. They have not been honoring the constitution. You know, the case of Miguna. You have other cases that the executive and especially the legislature has not honored the court. So do you think this will be the first time for the executive to honor the court orders?
It is very tricky, and this is where we can say that our leaders are failing us as Kenyans, because in most cases, the way you are saying, they have been neglecting the court orders. Big leaders, these leaders holding big position, they think they are the alpha and omega. They can defy court orders and sit there. But any person, just a normal person, citizen, you get that they are being grilled, and as in the law is taking course to the normal citizen, but the seniors are ignoring.
And Gradmula, do you think, like, won't it bring a negative impact if the president decides to dissolve the parliament today?
I don't.
Or aren't we heading into a political crisis or a crisis in the country?
You know, me, I'm supporting the Chief Justice decision or advice, since, you know, the two-third gender rule, it is something which is supporting or empowering both male and female in both sectors.
And do you think if we head to a by-election or another election, will we affirm to the two-third gender rule?
If we can hold an election, you know, there are also, it is citizens or voters who decide whom they elect.
So let me get your opinion. How can we achieve the two-third gender rule if right now the president decides to dissolve the parliament and we go to a by-election?
I think the voters should be maybe informed on what they should do.
I think, Gradmula, according to the two-third gender rule, it means that a third of the members of the parliament should be female, elected members.
Yeah.
So how will the common mwananchi able to relate the two? Or maybe to balance between electing the other gender and fix them in the parliament?
I think we can apply that to the IBC. The IBC can restrict some position that they should only be meant for male or female for us to achieve this.
So how can we restrict elected positions and we say that this county or this region should be divided by women? Are we not discrediting the men?
That one will also be a matter. It's a big problem, and I don't know how the president will decide.
So according to you, at first you told me that you're supporting the Chief Justice's decision.
Yeah.
And to give an order to the executive, and that is to the head of executive, the President Uhuru Kenyatta, to dissolve the parliament.
Yeah.
So imagine the parliament is dissolved today. The country will head now to another by-election, and it will be done in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
So there will be no leadership in the parliament in the two houses.
But I think the president will only dissolve the parliament, but we will still have the governors and the president himself holding.
But in short, we will have abandoned the legislature, that arm of government. So that means that the arm of making rules in the country will not be there for the next 90 days.
But we can use the law which were meant before.
So do you agree with me that the president should not dissolve the parliament and should resolve the conflict between him and the judiciary?
I don't think exactly if it is a conflict between the president or between the president and the judiciary. But the Chief Justice was following what the law guides or mandates him to do.
And the Chief Justice did this publicly, of which, according to experts and some other government officials in the executive, they might have said that the head of judiciary, that is the Chief Justice Maraga, did not consult the president on the issue. This is a critical issue. So does it mean he went and appeared to the public and made the public matter without consulting the executive?
I think Chief Justice is a wise person, a wise man, and before maybe making public announcement, he had maybe involved so many stakeholders within the judiciary. So it is a conclusion of a group, not an individual.
And the judiciary is an independent arm, the same as the executive, also an independent arm, and also the legislature.
Yeah.
But the decision to be made from the judiciary to the executive, does it not put Kenya on the wrong side? Because you can imagine a situation when the judiciary make their orders and also drill them to the executive, and the executive make their own orders. Are we not also interfering with the democratic right of coming together and also discussing a collective vision? And also, if you agree with me, in the past months or the past few years, we have been seeing conflicts between the judiciary and the executive. We have seen the Chief Justice appear publicly and condemn some government officials in the or some leaders in the executive. So do you agree with me that there is a conflict between the judiciary and the executive?
Maybe at personal level, at personal level we may have, but I think the Chief Justice is for the past years, so when he has been serving, I think he has been serving following the rules. And maybe the other arm of the government, they are not abiding by the rules.
Grandmula, according to you as an expert in politics, for the first time you told me that you agree with the Chief Justice's decision to dissolve the parliament. But in long run, can you agree with me that there is a conflict between the two arms, and the conflict yielded to the decision made by the Chief Justice?
No, I don't agree with that.
Why?
I don't think if there is a conflict between the three arms of the government.
There is a part of the government that went to court and stopped the decision to dissolve the parliament. We are waiting for a few days so that they can appear. And also there is RSK. The RSK has said that the parliament will not be, or the parliament should be disbanded in the next 21 days, and if not, they should not receive salaries. Don't you think also it is a political scheme?
It is a political stance. No, with the LSK, you know, they are following what the judiciary advised the government to do, and they want to implement it with immediate effect. So I don't think if it is a political scheme or stance.
I mean, according to the past one, we can know what we have seen between the judiciary and the executive, and let me repeat this maybe for the last time. It looks like we should discredit some rules in the constitution, and we need to change the constitution. Do you agree that we should change the constitution into a point where that the executive, when they are making their own decision on the judiciary, despite them being independent bodies, they should consult each other? That is at the private level before they come to the public.
Yeah, this is very important. You know, we shouldn't remain rigid with the constitution. A constitution, there should be continuous changes. And in your opinion, whatever you're talking about, I think it is right.
Do you agree there is a gap in the judiciary and the rule of law?
Judiciary.
Yeah.
Judiciary.
Or do you believe some roles are inferior and shouldn't be applied in the day-to-day business of the running of the government?
No, there is no pride in judiciary. Judiciary, we have seen there is transparency in judiciary.
When you mean transparency and when we come to the rule of law, I think you can agree with me that the decision, and let me come to you for the last time, the decision made by the judiciary looks inferior. Because how do we dissolve the parliament when we are remaining with just 2 years? Aren't we putting the country into a political crisis? And you know very well in the next few months we are heading also to another BBI project. So do you agree with me that the gap in the judiciary looks inferior and it is also affecting some the rule of law?
The gap in judiciary. Maybe we can give them time, and for now, you know, we are waiting for what the president will announce. We can't make conclusion, and we can't rush in making conclusion. We will wait for what the president will have to say at long last.
The president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, has some people who advise him. We have the Attorney General, who is also a member of the judiciary. So if today we decide to dissolve, or the president himself decides to dissolve the parliament, and we head into another by-election or maybe the election itself, aren't we putting the country into another 2 years of election? Or into another 2 years of election mood, the campaign mood?
I don't think if it will be bad, if that's what the law may be. If it will correct everything, then let it be.
Do you think like the common mwananchi is affected by the situation?
Yeah, it will affect maybe economy. But if the government can plan for it, you know, the government plans. If they can plan, they can put a well-organized plan, then I don't think if common mwananchi will have anything to lose.
Heading to another political scheme, you know, we need a lot of money, and we were also hit hard by our economy was hit hard, and we have been hearing some unforgivable nations like that's the unforgivable nations which we have which have lended us money and billions of money. Aren't we also affecting or interfering with our economy?
You know, the issue of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we can't blame the government. We can't blame anybody. It was a crisis which was cutting across all this continent. And in that case, our government or our nation, we were awarded some donation with the WHO. This with first world countries like China. We saw Jack Ma donating so many. Bill Gates who donated for us as some donor. So I think, and the Ministry of Health, I don't think if they exhausted.
And Grad Muller being a mwananchi in the country, the judiciary has decided to advise the president to dissolve the parliament. Currently, the president has not dissolved the parliament. We are in a kind of a political mood awaiting the decision from the president or either the judiciary. What next?
You know, if the president fails to dissolve the parliament, then I see maybe in a few years or maybe a few months' time, maybe all citizens will see that if the president cannot obey the law, then it means even me personally, and a normal citizen, I should do the same.
The same.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Gacokia gatho muno mwirore ni urathie na mbere na gukinyitana na ithuĩ thiini wa ndereti ino hiũ muthenya wa muthi tukwaragĩrĩria horo wa judiciary ni ruhonge rwa thirikari hamwe na legislature na executive. Nĩkĩo executive ĩkoragwo ĩgĩtongorio nĩ mũndũ gwĩtwo Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta, nĩ mũtongoria wa executive, hamwe na judiciary chief justice David Maraga. Na mwena wa legislature nĩkuo gũgĩkoragwo na abunge, na nĩ abunge arĩa tũkoragwo tũthurĩte kũrĩ bunge ya senate na kũrĩ bunge nene na bunge ya gĩbũrũri ĩrĩa ĩkoragwo ĩkĩrĩ na bunge abunge kana members of parliament nio MP arĩa maelectagwo harĩ constituency thĩinĩ wa senate tukoragwo na andũ mathuurĩtwo gĩ county nĩ tũgĩta senators na ndereti ĩno ũrĩa twakorwo tũkĩmĩarĩria na tukona atĩ advice ĩrĩa yakorirwo ĩkĩheanwo nĩ mũndũ gwĩtwo Chief Justice Maraga kũrĩ mũthamaki wa bũrũri Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta tegũkorwo ĩkĩ affect bũrũri wa Kenya na kũmĩiga thĩinĩ wa in a political mood na kugeria kurora undu toy wa kuiga bũrũri thĩinĩ wa political mood ũrĩa tũgĩtigĩtie mĩeri mĩnini nigetha gĩtĩna gĩkĩ kĩa mũndũ gwĩtwo Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta na Deputy President William Ruto gĩkorwo gĩkĩrĩka gwĩciria tũrakorwo tũkĩ-interfere hamwe na economy ya bũrũri tondũ nĩ ũkĩona bũrũri nĩ ũkoretwo ũgĩteta mbia nĩ ũkĩũĩ kũrĩ mabũrũri marĩa magĩkoretwo magĩtũkombithia mbia na mo nĩ makoretwo magĩtũtindĩka mũno na mũno no kĩo gũkoretwo ndoria Grand Mura kana nĩ tũkorwo tũkĩiga kũgeria auction bũrũri ũyũ kana kũiga thĩinĩ wa hatĩka-inĩ National Resources kĩndũ ta Jomo Kenyatta International Airport JKIA kũrĩ indo ta University of Nairobi twina indo nene cia thirikari na koguo no tũkorwo tũgĩciga hatĩka-inĩ okorwo ikĩoyo nĩ andũ aya makorwo magĩtũkombithia mbia nĩ ũrona rĩrĩa bũrũri tũragĩthiĩ na mbere na gũteta tũtikĩrĩ na mbia nĩ ũkĩoĩ corona thirikari nĩ ĩkoretwo ĩkĩhũthĩra mabilioni ma mbeca gũkorwo ĩkĩhũrana nakĩo rĩrĩa mũndũ gwĩtwo Chief Justice Maraga akĩruta watho atĩ bunge dissolve na tũkorwo tũkĩhe thĩinĩ wa a by election gwĩciria nĩ tũrakorwo tũkĩ-interfere na economy ya bũrũri mũno na tondũ nĩ ũkĩona no tũgũkorwo tũgĩrora maũndũ makonainie na BBI na nĩ ĩrakĩrũndĩkĩre haraihu na gũkorwo tũgĩka ithurano ici maita merĩ arabu thutha wa mwaka ũmwe tũkorwo tũgĩka ithurano gwĩciria nĩ gũkorwo ĩkĩhũthĩra mbeca nyingĩ mũno na tũkĩona mwananchi wa kawaida no yarathiĩ na kuumia maũndũ maya mothe magĩkĩhanĩka gwĩciria ĩno nĩ mjadala no gũkĩenda gũkĩigue mawoni maku thiĩ na mbere na kũnjarĩrio harĩa page-inĩ ya Facebook ya Mbuyu TV ona mwena wa YouTube tũkĩrĩ live nĩ gũthiĩ na mbere na kũnjarĩria Twitter twĩkuo no Mbuyu TV YouTube gũkwĩrĩte nĩ Mbuyu TV Kenya na mwena wa Instagram tũkĩrĩ kuo thiĩ na mbere na gũtweet hamwe na kũikia message yaku hau nĩ ngũkorwo ngĩthoma ũria kĩũria tondũ tũkĩrĩ na Grand Mura haha nĩ political expert na nĩ gũkorwo agĩtũihũrĩria maũndũ matiganĩte Mwira mbere nini thiĩte break tũgĩcokereria nĩ tũkorwo tũkĩarĩrĩria maũndũ makonainie na mbeũ njĩthĩ na BBI na no hoto gĩkĩona tũkĩrorete BBI na no tũrakĩria gũgĩika ikio thĩinĩ wa another political mood ya kũhead by election ya kũgeria gũgĩtindĩkithia atongoria Senate na atongoria bunge nene gũkĩria nĩgetha gũkorwo tũkĩmathura tũgĩcokereria nĩ tũkwarĩrĩria maũndũ makonainie na BBI tũkĩrorera ũteti wa BBI nĩ tũkĩiguĩte ũrĩa mũtongoria wa mũng'ethanĩro Raila Odinga akoretwo akĩaria na nĩ tũkĩiguĩte muono ũrĩa ũngĩ wa mũndũ gwĩtwo William Ruto naguo mawoni marĩa ũkoretwo ũkĩruta makonainie na BBI na nĩ tũgũkorwo tũgĩcokereria gwa kahinda gatarĩ kũraihu thiĩ na mbere na kwaranĩria na ithuĩ
mwĩroreri wa Mbuyu TV nĩ tũka o rĩngĩ tũkĩenda gũkũharĩrĩria show njega show ya mathaũgĩ twakorwo tũkĩrunga ciĩgiĩ wonjoria arĩa mendete maũndũ ma biacara arĩa mendete ũhoro wa kũigĩrĩra twakũrehera ageni meũhĩgĩire maũndũ megiĩ wonjoria naguo tũgakorwo tũkĩmenya maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ wonjoria na ũramati wa mbia ona ũigĩrĩri nyitanĩra na ithuĩ gũkũ kwa Mbuyu TV nyitanĩra na niĩ PK kwehanda mũthenya wa kerĩ na nĩguo Tuesday kuma thenya nginya thaa thita naguo ciahanda mũthenya wa kana nĩguo Thursday twĩkwĩhagĩra maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ ũtarani tũgakorwo na ageni gũkũ gwitũ studio megiĩ maũndũ maingĩ no mohĩgĩire maũndũ maingĩ megiĩ ũtarani tũgacemania na andũ macemanĩtie na maũndũ maingĩ mũno thĩinĩ wa mũtũrĩre na nĩguo kahota kũmenya maũndũ marĩa mangĩ makorwo makĩhanĩka thĩinĩ wa mũtũrĩre nyitanĩra na ithuĩ gũkũ kwa Mbuyu TV kĩnandũ kĩa ndeto
urerorera Mbuyu TV. Mbuyu TV kĩnandũ kĩa ndeto.
kũraya nĩ Ngai ũtũrathimĩte tumĩte kũraya nĩ Ngai ũtũiguĩire tha ũtanamba kwaria ũru wa irathimo ciakwa amũtuĩrie wega kũrĩa Ngai andutĩte. Wĩ mwega we ũrathimagwo nĩ nyĩmbo ciakwa. Njĩtagwo Mwangi Zakayo, mũini wa nyĩmbo cia kũgoca Ngai, na ndoka gũkwĩra rũu nĩruo rwĩmbo rũrĩa rwakwa rwerũ mũno 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 mũno. Na ũngĩenda rwĩmbo rũu nĩgetha rũtuĩke rũgambi rwaku kana skiza tune ya thimũ yaku, ũgũthiĩ thĩinĩ wa thimũ yaku harĩa wandĩkagĩra message, ũthiĩ wandĩke kiugo skiza, wanjĩtie na capital S, wĩkĩre space, wandĩke namba ici 53 59 897 53 59 897 ũgatũma kũrĩ 811. Nĩ ũkwamũkĩra rũgambi rũrũ rũtuĩke nĩruo rũgambi rwa thimũ yaku, nake Ngai nĩ egũkũrathima na ndũkanariganĩrwo. Tumĩte kũraya nĩ Ngai ũtũrathimĩte. Tumĩte kũraya ona nĩ njũĩ umĩte kũraya. God bless you.
Miaka mĩingĩ ona gĩa kũrĩa nakĩo tũtikĩrĩ hatĩka-inĩ oya mĩnyamaro na mĩtangĩko ndonaga Ngai Ngai ariganĩirwo nĩ niĩ Miriam nĩguo ngĩana nayo Jesu Jesu nowe mwathi Jesu gũthera gũthera nĩwe
Kigoco nĩ irio cia Ngai nyitanagĩra na niĩ Shiro wa Digital
na niĩ makanjĩta MC Nice na niĩ DJ Calf Kigoco Spin Genius.
O mũthenya wa kiumia ciehanda thaa thita cia mĩaraho tũgĩkũrehera tabarĩra ya
Rekei Tugoce
gũkũ kwa Massive Online TV
kĩnandũ kĩa ndeto.
Mboyo TV kĩnandũ kĩa ndeto.
Gũcokereria thĩinĩ wa tabarĩra ĩno ya ndereti hwaĩ-inĩ wa ũmũthĩ Jumamothi njega ũrĩa Mwathani akĩrĩkĩtie na gũtũkinyanĩria na nĩ tũgũkorwo tũkĩarĩrĩria maũndũ maingĩ mũno. Na ndangĩkorwo ngĩkũmenyithia thutha wa tabarĩra ĩno nĩ gũkorwo na ndurumo nene mũno ya mũgithi ĩrĩa ũkoragwo ũkĩreherwo nĩ Shiro wa Digital hamwe na mũthenya wa rũciũ wa kiumia rekei tũgoce nĩ ũgakorwo ũkĩreherwo mũndũ gwĩtwo MC hamwe na Shiro wa Digital na mũndũ gwĩtwo Mũciĩ wa Kanyarĩ nake agakorwo arĩ o gũkũ. Oho wiki tũrorete mũthenya wa Wednesday ĩgagĩkorwo ĩkĩrĩ ndurumo hiũ mũno tondũ tũgakorwo tũkĩmemerekia ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe kuma mwena wa kaunti ya Nyandarua kũrĩa kwa mũndũ gwĩtwo Governor Francis Kimemia. Na tutanathiĩ haraihu na Mr. Grad Muller, before we enter into our discussion today, I know you saw the issue that happened in Nyandarua County. I don't know what's your take on the roads.
On the issue of roads, I think the government, the national government has a role to play in the issue of road constructions, and the county government also as some parts. The national government just subsidize to the county government.
I think that was a question asked by one of our viewers this evening. And thank you very much for making it clear. To our discussion today, you know, the BBI politics, we have seen for the last 1 week the leader of opposition, that's the former leader of opposition, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. He's been politicizing on the issue of BBI, and you know he's like the person who is benefiting out of BBI because you find the other side of Mheshimiwa William Ruto. they are trying to fight. They don't want the BBI.
Yeah.
So according to your opinion or to your view tonight, would you tell us that the BBI, we are building bridges?
Yeah.
Is it true that we are trying to build bridges in our country? And which are these bridges are we trying to build?
Newton, first and foremost, I want to thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga for coming together. And since they came together,
that's where we found the inception of the BBI.
The beginning of the BBI to 2018.
2018.
I think everyone can justify the importance. So we have seen the fruits. There is peace. Even though the pandemic, COVID pandemic chipped in and maybe interfered with so many things.
And when we speak of peace, I think we are a united nation. Are we speaking of BBI or are we speaking of handshake? Is it handshake that brought peace or it's the BBI?
You know, BBI is a document which no one has seen. It is a narrative. Or maybe they are talking about a document.
But generally, they have been going around the country and saying that this is the report that will unite the country.
The other day, I don't know, it was the other day, previous day, I had former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga saying that in a few days to come, we are going to have the report. The stakeholders, the professionals who are engaged are ready to present the citizen with the report.
So, Grandmother, when you say that nobody has seen the report, which report was launched at the Bomas of Kenya?
They were spoken words, they were verbal, and they were just highlights.
I heard Kipchumba Murkomen, that is the Senate of Elgeyo Marakwet, say that it is a nice document and he went through for the whole night. Which document was he speaking about? I too had other readers, the likes of Wajiru Shege. We had some leaders, we had Esther Passalis.
Yeah.
We had himself, the deputy president, said that he has gone through the BBI. So which was that report?
No. This other group, I may say that they are confusing. They are trying to confuse the citizens.
Which is that group?
The group of, let's talk about Tanga Tanga. The Tanga Tanga group. They are trying to confuse Kenyans. And the BBI report itself, we are being told that it is not yet out. But soon it will be out. So you cannot propose.
Before we proceed, I think you're the first person in this show to mention the Tanga Tanga. And to our viewers, they may not know or recognize what exactly is Tanga Tanga.
Tanga Tanga, I think they are a group in currently the Kenya political atmosphere. There are these groups who maybe are trying to oppose the government agendas. Yeah, those are the Tanga Tanga group.
What does Tanga Tanga consist of?
Tanga Tanga.
Or exactly the members?
You know, we can tell from the members who the Tanga Tanga has. There are people who are trying to politicize everything, the government agendas.
So genuinely, these are the people fighting the process or the program.
Yeah,
program.
Exactly. Actually, they are the people.
The BBI program was initiated after the handshake, that is the handshake between His Excellency Raila Odinga and also His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
So do you believe that the opposition is out of the opposition doesn't exist now? Because already the opposition, they grouped with the ruling party.
But we can tell, Bruce, currently...
And maybe, Gramula, before we proceed, I think the formation of the opposition, it's enshrined in the Constitution. You know, the opposition is made of the minority.
Yeah.
These are the people who roasted the election.
Yeah.
And genuinely, when you mention the Tanga Tanga and mention the people who compromised, who composed the Tanga Tanga, the formation of Tanga Tanga.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're in the public domain, they have already mentioned themselves. Do you believe this is a real opposition?
The opposition, yeah, we can say it is real opposition.
But constitutionally, is it an opposition?
Constitutionally, no.
You know, the opposition has a noble role in the country. You know, these are the people who protect the constitution. Sometimes they safeguard it.
Yeah.
So exactly, do you think like we have an opposition in the country?
Currently. Yeah, we do.
Which is this opposition? Because exactly we know the minority and the team that rose, they grouped with the government.
Yeah.
That is Raila Odinga through the handshake, they grouped with His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell me that still now?
I don't think if
the opposition exists
they
constitutionally.
Since election, I don't think if they have denounced their post or dropped the opposition post.
But their political atmosphere can tell. We saw the Cuba election, the government, people under Uhuru Kenyatta supporting His Excellency Raila Odinga.
Maybe the opposition has grown stronger. The opposition might have grown
I don't know
stronger.
whether even you are updated that the Jubilee decided to support the ODM in the Saboni election.
I know. I know. They are not feeling
and when
an aspirant.
When the leaders of the government decide to regroup with the opposition, do you want to tell me still there is an opposition which exists constitutionally?
That one, it simply means that the opposition has grown stronger. The other people who are joining, maybe they want to be opposition.
So at this level, those people trying maybe the way you mention it, because exactly you said that the opposition has joined with the government, and that is true because His Excellency Raila Odinga merged with Uhuru Kenyatta. These people are trying to fight the government agenda, the one you mentioned as the Tagatanga, and you said it here.
Yeah.
Do you think it is or is it a legal party, or is it a legal team?
This team, no, they are not legal.
So we can conclude it is an illegal team, according to you.
Yeah.
Tonight, you want to tell us that that is an illegal team because you are a political expert and you're offering guidance to our viewers.
Yeah.
The team that is fighting the government agendas, and exactly you mentioned it and quoted it at Tagatanga, it is an illegal team.
It is illegal team. They are not legal team. The legal team we knew. We know them very well. From the past election of 2017.
So can we personalize it that as your personal opinion, or can we say it is your personal opinion?
Yeah.
Or you can make it publicly that the team that is fighting, that is Tagatanga, it is an illegal team.
Bruce, let me discuss this issue of BBI. Like I said before, that in a country, you cannot be rigid for changes to the constitution. You cannot be rigid. You must be flexible to change. The world is growing. Everything is changing. Why must we fix ourselves to maybe something which has taken? It has taken, our constitution has taken 10 years, if I'm not wrong. From 2010. So
according to Grandma, we need a change in the constitution.
Yeah. If necessary, we need.
Do we need it now?
If necessary, then it should be.
You know, having specialized in politics.
Yeah.
Do you think we need it now? Right time. This time.
Yeah, we need it.
I think as a political expert, you know, we were hit hard economically, and we need a lot of funds so that we can also grow the procedure. The BBI needs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So at this time, you can guide the common mwananchi that we need a change in the constitution.
As I said earlier, that the government plans for its projects, and you can affirm or justify that BBI is a government project. Government plan for our citizens, the government plan for our projects. So who are we to defy?
There have been conversations from different political leaders, and especially those who don't match with the former opposition leader, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. These people have been saying that the BBI formation, it's meant to ascend someone to power. Do you believe in that?
No, that is a narrative, or it is just some sort of maybe non-issues which they are trying to derail derail the issue of BBI not to go through.
I think from the first time I've heard you speak a lot according to BBI, and for the last time I've asked you whether there is a group which is believed to be Tanga Tanga, which is fighting the BBI, and these people have been creating a narrative that the BBI formation, that is from Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, is meant to ascend someone to power, and exactly they mention him as Raila Odinga. So do you want to tell me that you have gone through you have gone through the BBI, maybe even if it is a little bit? What is good in the BBI? Or what shows that we need to change the constitution? What's new in the BBI that is not there in the constitution?
In the constitution, we can see. Maybe we need a change, since you can see Chief Justice made he wanted some changes. In the constitution, some changes are being neglected. That one has been proved by the Chief Justice himself. That one means we need changes in the constitution.
And this BBI program, how is it benefiting the common man? Because exactly we have had other issues that they want to change is the formation of the government that is exactly in the public domain. We have had the revenue allocation that is 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling, of which it was passed the other time by the Senate of Kenya. So exactly how is this BBI benefiting the common man?
All that you are mentioning, I can say that they are black propaganda, because no one has seen BBI. But the stakeholders are saying that we are waiting for the report. So we can talk about it when the report itself is out. This issue of creating more position to absorb other people, those are black propaganda.
Is the former opposition leader and also His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, those are the masterminds behind the handshake? Are they stakeholders in the BBI?
Are they, please pardon?
Are they the stakeholders in the BBI, or are they in the formation of the BBI program?
No. With them, maybe they sent their views or ideas to the group, or the wise group, which were trying to create this. The wise men who are working behind all this thing called BBI.
But the same people who give their views, we have heard them in the political ground.
You know, when they started the issue of BBI, I think they walked across the country. They traveled across the country. And they collected views from whichever, from different parts of the country, from different people, different individuals, from different sectors, from different institutions.
Yes, and genuinely we can say that the religion gave their religion opinions. We can also say the political class give their political opinions.
Exactly.
And the same people behind the BBI, the likes of Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, the same people who are politicizing and saying that we need a formation of a larger group that no one loses in an election.
We can't tell. Maybe that one is his view in the BBI, because the way you have said that different stakeholders or different individuals gave their views.
And Grand Mura, don't you believe that the mastermind behind handshake, that is Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta and Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, don't have a big share in the BBI? Because these are the people who introduced the BBI, they know the handshake. Don't they have a big say in the BBI?
No, the BBI is for Kenyans.
I mean the opinions.
The opinions are for Kenyans, not for Uhuru and Raila.
So imagine the stakeholders of the BBI decide to bring a divergent opinion, not what the former Prime Minister and Raila Odinga gave their views. Will they accept it?
Then that one we will oppose. That's why I'm saying we should wait for the report. Then we will discuss.
There is a political class which has been politicizing around the country about the BBI. So these guys, you still mean that they have not seen the report, or they don't know what is in the report?
Exactly, that is what is happening. No one has seen what is.
There is something I've not understood from the beginning, because I told you that during the launch of the BBI report, and it was, and also the president said that the papers be distributed to Kenyans. We had various political leaders saying that they went through the BBI report. So there is a different report other than the one which was launched at the Bomas of Kenya.
You know, the stakeholders who are maybe looking onto this thing, before it was launched, back then, I think with all those views, when they brought it, so for people to go through it and they can maybe get new ideas, or maybe new where there should be changes. Whatever people maybe are talking about, they are post of what, post of maybe some people might happen that they saw, and the report, it was taken back for some changes. So we will wait for the final one.
And Gradmun, as a political expert, do you think that we should expand the high political class, that no one, or the person who loses an election is still held in the government?
I don't support that idea. If it is the case, then I can't support that. That one is increasing a burden to a normal or a common mwananchi. That is a big burden. Why do we add more posts?
If you try to check the 2007 election and also the 2010. 2007 election, we found the likes of Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, likes of Mheshimiwa. These people are losing, who lost the election genuinely, those who are from position 2 downwards. These people had a lot of votes. So once we regret them in the government formation, are we still uniting the country? Because we find someone like Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga had almost 90% of the, is it the Western region?
Nyanza plus Western.
The representation of Western region in the government.
No, but you know, the moment someone wins an election, it means the majority, or her policies convinced the majority. So he should carry everything. There is nothing that we should include or bring on table the person who lost.
But my question comes, aren't we trying to neglect a certain part of the country? Because I'm telling you, like, you know, votes are counted per region. And like the last election, you found Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga already lost the election. But he had almost 95% of his region, that is Western region. So do you mean we are trying to narrow the representation of those people, or to neglect the representation of those people?
Newton, that one is tribal alignment, political alignment. I hate it, me personally. I don't like if a region maybe support a candidate because he comes, or he is a relative, or she is a relative. That narrative and notion should be swept away from the people's mind. People should be voted in depending on their policies, their manifestos, not because they come from maybe the Western region, so you vote your man.
So, Grandma, let me bring this question again. Can you imagine a situation where, like, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga or Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi decides to vie as the kingpin of Central Region? Do you think it's logic, or it brings some logic?
If Bwana Raila or Mheshimiwa Mudavadi has a good policies to convince people from Central, then there is no problem with that. Yeah.
And how can he be elected as the kingpin of Central Kenya? So I'm trying to bring the question that regions have their own representatives, and that's why you have the league group of communities, the Central region, the Nairobi region, the Western region. And that is why I brought the question. Can you imagine a situation where we are neglecting the representation of over 10 million people? Because you find, like, in the Western region, the whole of Western region, almost 95%, they voted for a candidate who has lost the election. And that is why, don't you think that there is a need to bring these people to power?
No. We should not bring them to power. The person who won, whoever wins, should.
So you agree with me that the person who loses an election should join the opposition?
Yeah, he should be in opposition. Not that he's being given a post in the government because he lost. No. He should be in opposition and wait for another another chance.
Does it mean, according to your opinion, the opposition, or handling how the opposition, and you know how the opposition operates in a country, not only in Kenya, even in other countries.
Yeah.
If we allow the opposition to continue disrupting, you know, even how they disrupt activities in the country, and they are trying to push their own agendas. They use force to push their own agendas.
Yeah.
What if these people, we give them a representation in the government, that they give their direct opinions? Like expanding the political class, we try to introduce people like the prime minister, that the prime minister can sit down with the president and make a decision, instead of the prime minister, who gave him an opposition ticket to push by force.
You know, the moment you will do that, it means that the country will not have an opposition. And the moment you lack an opposition, then it means we will be, people will be in darkness. You don't know what the people who are in power are doing. You can't trust. In the world, you can't trust nobody. You will only trust yourself and God. God and yourself. So opposition must exist.
I think in the last, I don't know, the last 2 weeks we were celebrating the Katiba 10. So what do you believe the opposition has done in this country?
The opposition?
In the last 10 years,
Opposition has done a great job looking ways back from 2007, when at least I was able to analyze, or maybe to see what is happening in the country. The opposition has opened our eyes in maybe things we were not able to see, scandals which we were not able to know. If you are just a common mwananchi, the opposition has made us know that this was going on, and for that case, maybe the government now was running at a right lane.
And according to the BBI, despite the politics of the day, the power, people gaining power and expanding the political position, the politics we have been hearing day to day, what is the BBI according to the youth, or how is it benefiting the youth? And not only the youth, how is it fighting the crisis we have been having in the country, you know, the unemployment? Genuinely, because nobody has heard the report according to you, how you told us. Exactly, if you were to give an opinion, how would you see it?
My opinion? They are talking that the BBI is talking about inclusivity. It means inclusivity. They will consider youths. They will consider women. They will consider men. They will consider all classes. They are talking that the BBI is preaching inclusivity.
So do you believe the largest percentage of Kenya, which is the youth, if they are included in the power, we shall not have unemployment, or the unemployment shall end?
If they are included in power, that is unemployment already. If they are included in power, that is an unemployment.
I mean, including the youths in power, is that a way of fighting unemployment in the country?
If
percentage the youths,
including them in power, because you know, youths, maybe some of them have good ideas, so when they are given chance, they can create a job for other people or other fellow youths. They might have good ideas, so when given chance, maybe let's say, Bruce, you have been maybe given a post of let's say CS of education, for example. You know where you are, you understand your fellows, and you know the problems they are facing or challenges they are facing.
So how would my position create an employment? Or generally for the last 10 years, these positions have been there. The CS of education has been there. How has he been able to fight the unemployment?
That one I was giving an example. For example, you are talking about if youths are included in power positions.
Okay, thank you very much. And you have spoken about the education.
And I wanted to add this. You have just brought the issue of youths. I think this narrative that the leaders are spreading, that youths are leaders of tomorrow, I think that is something which is a big nonsense. It is a big nonsense. I want to tell you that...
So youth, should they be given positions in future?
They are not being... They should not be given, but we should. Youth should be bold, courageous, defiant, in running and fighting for these positions. There is nothing like we are leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow is today.
I think I love your statement. There was one statement like that one which was released yesterday by Professor Magoha during the graduation ceremony at the University of Nairobi, and he told the graduates that you are not going to seek and don't go and seek employment. Just create a scenario where you can employ yourself and also employ others, because already you have the basic skills. I think he was trying to refer to the University of Nairobi, the narrative which has been there, that the University of Nairobi, they are very bright, they can create. When they graduate, they are the people who should create but not being employed. In general, as we end this conversation, the professor of education, that is C.S. Magoha, has said that schools will be reopened soon. So what's your opinion on that?
I think the government, the government should ensure that the reopening of schools does not interfere with the academic calendar, calendar of this year, next year, and in future, and they should guarantee the comrades' safety and health environment. They should not rush because of this may be forced flattening, calf flattening. They should take time and ensure guarantees.
So according to your opinion, this is not the right time to open the schools. We should be all the university and the colleges and also secondary and primary should be given time.
You know, this thing, it is an issue which has brought confusion. Everybody is confused. The CS himself is confused. He's not consistent in giving out his opinions. He can wake up today, say another thing, tomorrow say his own things.
So, General, let me get your opinion. Are children safe in school if we decide to reopen schools by now?
It is not a matter of being safe. You know, we have another pandemic. Do you know the pandemic? The pandemic of reopening school. If we reopen the school, we have another corona. The corona is between the landlords and the comrades, or the students.
All right. Thank you very much. I love your conversation, and I love how you have interacted with our viewers tonight. So your last words.
My last words. My last words will go direct to my fellow youths. I want to repeat and boldly repeat that youth should be very bold, courageous, fearless in fighting for the positions in this country. There is nothing like tomorrow. We hold the future of this country, and we should fight for them when the right time comes. We should not be blocked by the senior politicians that we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you very much, God Muda, for making your time to speak to me tonight. This is one of the beautiful conversations we have ever had.
I
love the conversation. People are tweeting on Facebook. A lot of messages have been there. Na mwirore joki gatho muno ni tondu wa gukorwo kiri hamwe na ithuĩ muthenya wa muthi ikiuma Saturday njega ria gukorwo gikurera tafarira ya siasa na nitoko tukiareria maundu makonainie na BBI, itoria maundu makonainie na revenue allocation. Ni mwakiona solution angikorwo tukorwo tukiambia BBI kana korwo ni tuguthie by election. Otoria judiciary rakiandikithia kuri executive kuri mutongoria wa bũrũri ageri ku dissolve bunge muthenya wa umuthi gwicito gukorwo tukihedi na crisis iria mwananchi wa thi ne gukorwo akiumia ona bũrũri ni gukorwo akiumia maundu ndukonainie na yani economically. Joki ngatho cia mwanya niwe wagitindania na ithuĩ ithaa riu rigima ni twagikorwo tukiarania ndakora ndikiri na mahinda ningi akorwo thoma message tumuikitie message magana na magana mama message muthenya wa umuthi. Joki ngatho no wetikagira kunjirorera hari ithaa riu rimo ngonge kurera tafarira muthenya wa Saturday na ndakwira thutha wa haha kwina tafarira ingi ya thimurana kuna mugithi munene muno wakorwo kirehero muthenya wa muthi na muthenya wa rucio thiini wa show ya reke tugoce wa muci wa Kanyari ni magakorwo haha hamwe na mundu gwitwo Alex Mathenge na Shiro wa Digital na wiki turorete muthenya wa Wednesday wako kimemerekia imwe kumwe kuma county-ini ya Nyandarua. Ngatho cia mwanya muno, Ngai wa mwaro kurathima na kwike maundu mega. Kinya Saturday turorete, asante sana.